Okay, this is a recording on examining WAN connections, packet tracer 5.3.2. And in this video, we are going to use the show command. The show commands are very powerful commands for troubleshooting and monitoring networks, and they give a static image of the network at a given time. And we're going to use a variety of the show commands. And it'll give us a clear picture of how the networking is communicating and transferring data. So the first thing we are going to do is click on branch 1. We're going to go into the CLI, enable, and we're going to do show running config first. It shows us our current configuration version we have. We're using spanning tree mode, PVST, which is per VLAN. I think I have it right here. Maybe I don't. Can't remember what it stands for now. Anyway, interface fast Ethernet 0/0. It has IP address, and that's the only interface that we have up on this branch 1. So then we're going to do a show IP interface brief. Which tells us which interfaces are up or down. And it didn't show us our serial interface. So anyway, it shows your interface, your IP address, if it's up or down, if it's okay, it's set manually and it's up. And if it's administratively down, it shows you that. Okay, now we're going to do a show frame relay map. And that shows our serial 0/0/0/0 with the IP address, tells us it's up. The DLCI is data link connection identifier, which is the 201. It's dynamic, it's broadcasting, and it's Cisco. Status is defined as active. So now we're going to do frame relay PVC. And that shows us that we have how many input packets we have, output packets we have, and how many bytes that we have them in. Out bytes, the dropped packets, which were 0 in the FECN, and your FECN is forward explicit congestion notification, a bit set by a frame relay network to inform the DTE, which is data terminal equipment, receiving that it's experienced congestion in the path from the source to the destination. And we had 0 packets receive that. And then in the BECN, the backward explicit congestion notification, and this is frames that are traveling in the opposite direction. There was 0 packets there. And then in the DE, which is discarded eligibility, in frame relay, that's when a router detects network congestion, and the frame relay switch will drop the packet with the DE bit set first. And we had 0 of those. So our out broadcast packet and our in broadcast packets So next we will do the LMI. And LMI is Local Management Interface. And this includes support for a keep alive mechanism, which verifies that data is flowing, a multicast mechanism, which provides the network server with its local DLCI, and the multicast DLCI, which is a DLCI is a data link connection identifier. Then global addressing, which gives DLCIs a global rather than local significance in the frame relay networks. Plus your status report on the DLCIs known to the switch. So the status report is, there was only 16 timeouts. We've sent 659. We've received 658. Okay, so that was for branch 1. Now let's go to branch 2. And we're going to do show run first. And we see that we're spanning tree mode, PVST, interface, fast Ethernet 00. Interface 01 is no address. Okay, interface serial 0/0/0 is encapsulation for frame relay, I mean. We have an interface VLAN that's shut down. IP clueless, IP route. Okay, so now we're going to do IP interface. Show IP. Okay, and that shows us our interfaces, our IP addresses, whether they're up or down, manually or administratively put down or unset for a method status. And then we're going to do show frame relay map. That shows us our serial port 0/0/0 is up. Its IP address, its DLCI is 301. It's dynamic. Broadcast Cisco status is defined and it's active. So now we're going to do frame relay PVC, which tells us that frame relay DTE and the DLCI is 301, DLCI usage is local, PVC status is active, and the interface is serial 0/0/0. And it tells you the different packets. So we didn't have any of the forward explicit congestion notification packets, and we didn't have any of the backward explicit congestion notification packets, and we didn't have any discard eligibilities. And we've had this many broadcast packets sent and this many bytes. Alright, so now we're going to go in, put in the LMI. Local Management Interface is what LMI stands for, if I didn't say that before. And this all looks, we don't really, the LMI type is Cisco, frame relay is DTE. Which is data terminal equipment. So that tells you about branch 2. Now we're going to go to the main, and we're going to kind of do all the same thing again. So we're going to do a show run, and that tells us that we have spanning tree mode, PV, our interfaces. Interface 0/0/0/0 is encapsulated frame relay, so that would be the one it pretty much looks at. And then we have this one. We have all 3 of these that are frame relay. So when I do a brief, when I do the frame relay, show frame relay commands, I'll get those. These are the ones that will show up, are these. So if I do a show IP interface brief, it'll tell us which ones are up, if they're okay, set manually, not set, administratively down. So the 3 that had the frame relay are all up. Okay, so now we're going to do show frame relay LMI, and so it shows an LMI on each one of the interfaces that it was on. And if the only thing, let's see, it's just the sent, the number status sent, and number status message received, and then the requested timeouts, or the status timeouts. Seems to be 16 on each one, and none of these other ones have. The only interface that has the sent and status sent and received is the serial 0/0/0. The other ones don't. Okay, so now we're going to do show frame relay map. And so that shows us 102 and 103. I don't know why it don't show us the plain 0/0/0. I'm sure there's a logical explanation, and I'll have to ask Dawn, as I don't know why it don't do that. But it tells you that we're point to point, and DLCI. The DLCI is 102, broadcast status defined, and it's active. And this DLCI is 103. So they're different. They have different data link connection identifiers. And of course the very first one don't. But it was still frame relay. Interesting. Okay, so then we're going to do PVC. Right? Yes. And that shows us PVC statistics for interface serial 0/0/0. Your data link connection identifier, this is the 102, and the 103 is down here. And they're both active. How many packets have went out, came in, input, output, and your BECN and your FECN, backward and forward explicit congestion notification. That's what that stands for. Okay, so that pretty much concludes this video where we have looked at the show command and did different ones. This starts out as 100%, but we'll show you that it's 100% anyway. And that concludes this video on examining the WAN connections, Packet Tracer 5.3.2. Thank you for watching.